All right, a blessed and wonderful morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, April 8th, 2021. We are back for the last hurrah or the sixth session of our webinar series entitled GKPB Mag-Online Learning, a webinar series on how to take online learning to the next level. Thank God it's Thursday. It's Thursday but it feels like Friday. Ano po, dahil bukas ay bakasyon, anong araw ng kagitingan, walang pasok. Ayan. So magandang umaga sa ating mga early birds na maagang tumutok ngayon sa ating Facebook Live. Please let us know kung saan po kayo nanonood ngayon. I-comment nyo lamang po yan sa ating comment section. Shoutout din po sa lahat ng mga ating kasamahan sa UPLB na nakatutok sa atin at nanonood sa ating programa. Good morning po sa mga taga-HRDO, mga taga-OVCAA, taga-OVCHA at mga PICCs ng Adobe at sa lahat po ng ating kapwa-kawani na nakatutok ngayon. Pagbati din po sa ating Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, si Ma'am Janet Silva at sa mga mababait po naming kapitbahay sa Tindalo Street, lalong-lalo na po sa Tindalo Boys. Ayan, hello din po sa ating mga kaibigan sa OVCAA, sila Tita Agi, Tita Bev, Tita Elsa, Tita Rose, Kuya Adrian, Sir Neil, Tita Babes, Tita Weng, Tita Cecil at si Tita Dani. Ayan, good morning sa inyong lahat. We are now down to the last session of our webinar series under the theme, Leveling Up Your Design Skills. Last Tuesday po was the first part of our three-part webinar series. We learned about the basics of graphic design. Then on Wednesday, we learned some tips on smartphone photography. This Thursday, for our last session, let's level up our editing skills. Kaya kung wala pa po dito ang inyong mga classmates, friendships, and colleagues, itag na po natin sila sa ating FB Live. I-share nyo rin po itong video para sama-sama po ulit tayong matuto at magkaroon ng bagong kaalaman sa umagang ito. As of this morning, actually yung last count po ng ating registered participants, we already have a total of 6,876 registered participants. Ayan, so napakadaming gustong matuto. I hope on board na po tayong lahat. Time check, it's 10:03 in the morning. Welcome to GKPB Mag-Online Learning, a webinar series on how to take online learning to the next level. So just to recap po, last March, we are done with the 3 sessions with the theme Prepping Up for Success. We had the topics public speaking, power dressing, resume writing, and the acing job interview. This week was our 3 sessions for the theme Leveling Up Your Design Skills. And today nga po is our 6th session under that theme entitled Image Editing. Learn how to edit photos using Photoshop. I am Cheryl Hermosa Ibron, University Extension Associate and Training Coordinator of UPLB Learning Resource Center, and I will be our session's moderator. So before the friendly reminders, just sa ating first previous slide, we posted kahapon po yung announcement that you have to have with you the materials from our resource speaker, and you can download that on the link that you can see on your screen. I hope na sa inyo na yan para pag nag-workshop na yung ating resource speaker, ay makasunod po kayo sa kanya. Okay? If you haven't downloaded them, them yet, ayan, nandyan po yung link natin, yung bit.ly link. Pwede nyo pong i-screenshot and then puntahan nyo po yan, i-download nyo na po yung mga files na naroroon, including the Photoshop software. All right? Okay, so just a few friendly reminders for our webinar. First, please keep your comments helpful and considerate to the speaker, moderator, and to your fellow participants at all times. And then, if you have questions, just feel free to write them down below our comment section and make sure that they are relevant to the topic for this morning. Last and most importantly, please do not forget to answer the evaluation form after the webinar. Our team will deeply appreciate both your comments and suggestions. Please also be reminded that the deadline of submission of responses will be until 5 p.m. today. Now, due to the influx of responses from you guys, we would like to humbly ask for your patience and understanding. Please expect to have some delays po, kasi talagang overwhelmed po kami sa inyong mga responses. Thank you so much po sa lahat ng inyong participation. But please give us at least 48 hours po to generate and process your certificates to be sent to your email. So 48 hours is like parang 2 days po ano. So please give us time because we, as you already know, we are only two staff po ano na nagmaman sa certificates and sa webinar series. Mamaya makikita niyo po siya sa end ng ating webinar. Okay? And of course, hindi namin kakalimutang batiin ang aming butihing Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Jean O. Loyola. Good morning po, ma'am. And sa kanya pong butihing AVC din po si Ma'am Rosel Collado. Okay, sa mga hindi po kayang makapanood ano, sa ating session ng live, huwag po kayong mag-alala dahil pwedeng-pwede nyo pong mapanood ang ating webinar series, yung mga replays po natin sa aming Facebook page. Hanapin nyo lamang po ang UPLB Learning Resource Center. Again, our online social community is still growing strong. We have reached close to 68,000 strong followers po. Thank you very much for your continuous support. Siyempre po sa mga naka-mobile data, pwedeng-pwede rin po yung manood ng replay sa ating YouTube channel. I-search na lamang po ang UPLB Learning Resource Center on YouTube. And just the same, ang ating paglago po ay patuloy. Ang ating followers po ay umabot na sa 1,920 subscribers. Keep it coming po. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. We have a number of materials there. Please continue to share it to your friends, colleagues, and classmates na gustong matuto. Okay? And wag din pong kalimutang i-click ang notification bell para lagi po tayong updated sa ating mga videos. Please also follow us on our Instagram and Twitter accounts. Now, para po mas mabilis na makita ang ating mga resources and videos sa ating webinar series, gamitin nyo rin po ang ating official hashtag. Yan po ay ang hashtag GKPB Online Learning or GKPB Online Learning. Alright. Now, before going to the main part of our session, let's have a short energizer. O, sa mga perfect attendance at palaging uma-attend sa ating webinar series, hindi na kailangang i-memorize ha. Alam na alam nyo na po ang inyong gagawin. Sa mga ngayon pa lamang po nakatutok at susubok sa platform na ito, napakadali lamang po ng gagawin. First, you have to open a new browser and then go to www.menti.com. You can also see the code on your screen. It's actually 64741770. Again, it's 64741770. You can also the QR code po no, sa screen para sa pinakamabilis na paraan. Yan po ay inyong iscan lamang po. And I already posted po sa ating FB Live yung link mismo para diretso po kayong makapunta sa ating activity for this morning. Now to be amazed with the live results of our Mentimeter, let me just share my screen ano po, para sama-sama po nating makita ang live results ng ating Mentimeter. Alright, let me just check. Okay, so ang ating question is, what do you love most about our webinar series? Hashtag GKPB Online Learning. So we already have 6 sessions so far. Ano yung pinakagusto mo sa ating webinar series? Just to give us an idea kung ano talaga yung parang nagustuhan mo sa ating webinar series. Dahil ito na nga yung last session. So we have first, learning new things or skills. And then second, speakers. Third, certificates. And then fourth, topics. And then yung panghuli ay lahat po. Wow! As we can see here on our screen, overwhelming. Lahat po. Meron na tayong 166. Ayan. 68, 70 na sumasagot sa ating menti.com or Mentimeter. And overwhelming yung responses, lahat daw. Wow! And then meron tayong 27, yung learning new things or skills. Yan naman po talaga yung ating goal na talagang as lifelong learners, matutunan natin itong mga ito, yung prepping up for success, yung leveling up our design skills, because in the online world, kailangan talaga natin itong design skills. Hindi ka na pwedeng walang alam sa photography, sa creativity, because halimbawa magpapasa ng project, kailangan natin mapaganda yung ating mga projects. And hindi dahilan na wala tayong equipment because like for example, you can use your mobile phones in creating better pictures, good photos, diba? And who knows, baka yung mga natutunan natin, pwede rin nating maging sideline, di ba? Makakatulong pa tayo sa ating pamilya. Wow, all right. So we already have 265. Ayan, thank you so much for your participation sa ating Mentimeter. So hindi ko po yan naalisin, pwede pa rin po kayong magsagot sa ating question for today. Okay? I hope energized na po tayong lahat sa umagang ito. Ano po? Thank you very much once again for participating in our Energizer. Ngayon, ang tanong, at palaging tanong, G na G ka pa ba? G, at ready pa rin bang i-level up ang ating design skills? Of course, G pa rin tayo, kaya tara nang matuto. So to begin our session, allow me to introduce to you our speaker for this morning. Sa mga masugid nating follower ng ating 3-part webinar series, kilalang nyo na po si Sir, He is a graduate of BS Development Communication, a freelance photographer and digital marketing specialist. Currently, he is the sales and digital marketing manager at LB Commons. He also worked as a sales marketing associate at Chapters and Mayad Creatives Incorporated. Previously, he was also part of our team as the University Research Associate at the Learning Resource Center, but again, always and forever be a part of LRC family. Let us all please welcome back in the Zoom space, Mr. Lawrence Hildy Salgado. Kid, good morning.
Hello, Atashe. Good morning po.
Ayan. Alam mo ba, Kid, napaka-overwhelming ng ating entries sa hashtag Smart Photography 101 or Smartphone
Yes,
Photography
Ate.
101.
I saw last night, I was able to view all of their photographs and wow talaga. No, na-apply talaga nila lahat ng natutunan nila kahapon. Very good job. And I saw na super daming nag-participate. Around 400 po yata.
Yes, dun sa challenge, nasa 400 plus na comments and entries mismo ng kanilang mga photos using smartphones. Okay? And of course, dahil tinignan ng ating maestro, ng ating master, na si Gill, ang lahat ng inyong mga photos, nakapili siya ng top 20. So, pwede ba natin ipakita, no? Pwede natin ipakita yung top 20 natin dun
Yes
sa
po,
lahat
Ate.
ng mga nag-comments. Okay. So, allow us to share the photos that you shared sa ating Facebook page, sa ating challenge ni Sir Hill kahapon. Okay? This is in no random order, Sir Kid, no?
Yes po.
Okay, so let's begin. Yeah, this one is from Roflin Ray Cachuela Atienza. Okay, thank you so much for your entry. This one is from K. Gabriel. Dalawa yung entry niya. Ang ganda naman. Parang portraiture din siya, Kid, no? Yung sa first entry niya.
Opo.
Yes, next, please. Ayan, from Carlo Orenzo. Sir Kid, si Carlo, ang daming tips niya kahapon sa sa ating comment section. Nagsha-share din siya ng kanyang mga tips. Okay, next. Ayan, kay Claire. Ang aliwalas, ang ganda, no? Using my Samsung. Next. Sarah Lee Lapitan. Okay, thank you, thank you. Ito. Wow, macro. Langgam. Ants. Okay. Kay Hannah Balawin. Spider naman. Ganda. This one. Wow. Parang concept ba? Tama, Sir Kid? Parang concept photography ba ito?
Pwede po, pwede.
Okay, next. Ito, wow, ang ganda. Heart, pero tasa. O, di ba?
Good use of
Napaka-creative.
lighting talaga.
Yeah. Pinakamahalaga, Sir Kid, no? Lighting talaga sa photography, no?
Well, yes po.
Okay, ito, Rubik's naman. A different perspective. Rubik's nga ba? Yan, wow. Ang ganda. Nag-reflect. Kay Tony Johnson Montserrat. Okay? Thank you for your entry. This one is from Jane Rose Fermino. Random order po lahat ito. So, walang kung sino yung number 1. Okay? Next, Garcia Damasco Grace. Color, lighting, and texture. Wow. Sana all nakakapunta sa beach. Soon. We hope so. Okay, ito sa Phil Rice. Wow, lighting pa rin, Sir Kid, no?
Yes, and
May ginamit
framey.
na.
Maganda yung
Yes.
pagkaka-frame niya doon sa building ng Gill Rise.
Oh, yes. Oo, framing. Ang galing. Very good. Next. Ito, very amazing ha. Yung patak ng tubig, tama ba?
Yes po.
Yeah, okay. Next. Si C. E. John Gontinas. Wow. Langaw ba ito? Langaw, no?
Opo.
Insect? I'm not
Yes.
sure. Ang galing. Paano nakuha macro photography?
Oo
Wow,
nga.
Huawei yung gamit niya ha. Maganda talaga ang lens ng Huawei. Okay,
Yes.
ito. Kay Romel Alvaro Simanes. Wow. Sana all may ka-partner siya. Next. Hindi, may partner ako. Next. Ito ay, hindi ko makita yung ano. Sige, next po. Then, kay Andrew Atienza Salazar. Simbahan naman. Naka-social distancing sila sa labas. Okay. Good. Next. Negative Space by Realme 5 Pro. 5 Pro. Okay. Next. Ito po, entry ng aming director. O, di ba? Kahit si ma'am ay nag-aano din. Nagpa-participate. Alright. Thank you so much, everyone. Talagang, sir, ang dami nilang, kid, ang dami nilang natutunan sa'yo.
Hopefully, no, nakita naman din natin na na-apply talaga nila yung natutunan nila kahapon dun sa mga pictures na sinend nila kahapon.
Okay, I guess they are all excited for today's session. Now, to share with us how to level up more our design skills by editing our photos using Photoshop. Once again, Mr. Lawrence Hildy Salgado, you may now have the Zoom space.
Okay, guys, good morning sa lahat po ng naka-attend ulit ngayon. Maraming salamat po. And for those who were part of or who are still here today in the 3-day session webinar series, maraming salamat pa rin. Patok pa rin tayo sa tangkila. So for the first day, we had graphic design. For the second day, we have photography. And for the third day, ngayon naman, yung last topic natin is about image editing. Okay? So, brief introduction lang po ulit. I'm Gill Salgado. You can follow me on Instagram at Gill Salgado. And also, you can follow us sa LB Commons. I'm currently the Digital Marketing Manager of LB Commons. Ayan. So now we go to lesson number 3, which is photo editing. Ayan. Here sa photo editing, my goal here is for you to learn the basics of photo editing using Adobe Photoshop. So yesterday, I hope you were able to install even just a free trial. Ako, since bago yung laptop ko, I installed a free trial of Adobe Photoshop yesterday as well. And also yesterday, Ms. Cheryl Ebron posted an announcement that we will be using some free resources, photos na raw. Those were downloaded from the internet, pero ano yun, lahat. Free and no copyrights naman yung lahat. So let's proceed. What are we going to learn for today's session? So number 1 is learn how to use the interface of Photoshop. And number 2 is learn how to edit different exposure, color, grading, and basic photo manipulation to enhance our photographs. So as I mentioned yesterday, di ba, I would still prefer a photo that is beautifully composed rather than a photo that is beautifully edited. But if we have a beautifully composed photo plus enhance pa natin with some photo editing skills, super magiging maganda yung kinalabasan ng photos natin. Alright? So, magpunta na tayo sa Photoshop agad. So, here is, I will introduce and teach you how to use Photoshop. So let's start with its interface. So I hope yung Photoshop ninyo ay naka-open na. So let's see, my Photoshop is already open. Ayan. So makikita natin na yung Photoshop interface natin ay merong iba-ibang parts. So may tools option bar, may menu bar, may toolbox tool palette, document icon palette, and layers. So let's see if I can share my screen. Alright, here. Ayan. So ipapakita ko sa inyo na Na-open ko na yung Photoshop, no? So, please go ahead and open your Photoshop. Okay, I'll give you ample time for it to open. Okay, naka-open na ba? Okay. So let's go back. Kung titignan natin, yung pinaka nasa taas daw ay yung menu bar. So yung mga nandun ay yung file, edit, image, layer, select, filter, analysis, 3D, view, window, and help. And other buttons as well. And then, dun sa baba nun, we have the tools option bar. So, depende dun sa kung anong klaseng window ang meron tayo, yung mag-a-appear dun sa may tools option bar. Okay? And then on the left side, dito yung mga keys or buttons na pinakakailangan talaga nating matutunan, which is called the toolbox or tool palette. Later, we will discuss each and every button na nandyan and what they do. Okay? And then third is the document. Fourth pala is the document, yung white space, empty space na nandyan sa gitna. And then on the right side, sa may taas na part is the icon palette. And then on the lower side is nandun kung saan yung mga layers. Okay? So let's try to go back to the Adobe Photoshop. Ayan. So let's go click File. And then let's click New. Yan. And then a prompt will appear. So makikita natin dito, no, since bago na siya, we have options here kung anong width, anong height, anong resolution yung gusto natin. So let's say for example, let's settle for 16 by 20 centimeters, but the resolution should be 300. So click na natin yung create. And then automatically, may lalabas dyan na white space or blank space. Okay, so got it. Oops. Ayan. So ngayon, nandito na ako sa Photoshop space ko. Ayan. Makikita na natin kung ano nga ba yung tinutukoy ko kaninang mga menu bar, toolbox, palette layers, mga ganon. Yan. So I hope you're able to see, no? And I hope na nakasunod lahat since ngayon yung topic natin is very live talaga. Magagawa tayo ng live editing. So I hope lahat ay nakakasunod. Okay? Ayan. Oops. Okay? So, tingnan naman natin kung ano yung nagagawa nung nasa toolbox. Okay? Balik tayo. Alright. Okay, so for the first one, we have the move tool or yung shortcut key noon sa keyboard natin ay letter M. So it is a tool used to move things. So pwede rin na press shift to restrict movements to vertical and horizontal. So later itatry natin kung ano ba yung nagagawa ng move tool, okay? And then the next one is the rectangular marquee tool or sa keyboard shortcut natin is letter V. Ito na-memorize ko na yung mga shortcuts nila no, per button. So maganda din na para mag-save tayo ng time, kung ma-memorize natin yung mga keyboard shortcuts nila, mas maganda. Okay? Para mabilis tayong gumawa. So, yung tool na to, ang ginagawa niya is gumagawa siya ng mga selections doon sa image ninyo in a rectangular shape. So, pwede rin na ibang shape, pero yung other shape lang na pwede is yung elliptical. So, yung tawag naman doon is elliptical marquee tool. Okay? So, next, we have lasso tool. Ito naman is like the rectangular marquee tool, pero hindi sila restricted to shapes like the rectangular and the elliptical. Okay, so this one is used to draw a selection in whatever shape you like. So ito freehand to. Pwede nyo tong gamitin na yung mouse nyo, yung mismong magdodraw or magla-line out, outline pala, ng image na gusto ninyong i-outline. Okay? So we have different then. Kapag ni-right click nyo yan or long press, lalabas yung iba pang options na pwede. Magkakaroon ng drop down selection doon, which are the lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool. So usually, hindi nyo na kailangan din mag-right click. Papakita ko sa inyo later. You just hold shift and then press nyo yung keyboard shortcut which is L. So shift L, 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 mga ganon. Makikita ninyo na nagbabago yung icon ng button because nagsiswitch from lasso tool to polygonal lasso tool to magnetic lasso tool. And same goes to other buttons as well. Okay? Next naman is the magic wand tool. This one is a selection tool as well, but yung feature niya is nagsaselect siya ng color range. So it will select a block of color based on what you click. So automatic to na yung Photoshop mismo yung mag-identify kung ano yung isa-select mo based on the color that you selected. Okay? Next one is we have the quick selection tool. It helps to grab all of those colors as you brush over top of the object, continuously sampling the area to create a seamless selection. So later, papakita ko sa inyo kung ano yung difference ng quick selection tool with the magic wand tool. Because in quick selection tool, kailangan pa nating i-drag yung mouse natin dun sa colors na gusto nating makuha. Unlike sa magic wand tool, when you click it, automatically isa-select na niya lahat ng colors na gusto mo. Okay? So, we have a challenge here and let's try doing this. So, try isolating an object or element from a photo of your choice using the magic wand tool or the lasso tool. So, babalik ako ngayon sa Photoshop. Ayan. And then, di ba meron tayong resources? Ayan. So, for example, to import a new file sa Photoshop, we can just drag and drop yung file dito sa may taas kung saan nakalagay yung ating file name. Okay? Yan. So, I will drag and drop. Kapag hindi gumana, I'll show you another way kung paano siya pwedeng gawin. Okay? So, naglo-load ngayon yung picture natin. Ayan. Okay? So, may prompt lang tayo na welcome to camera raw. Because yung mga photos na pina-download ko sa inyo ay raw files yan lahat. So, matataas yung file sizes kasi it is raw. Okay? So, as compared to JPEG or PNG. Okay, so get started. So may prompt na lalabas dyan na pwede nating i-edit na yung exposure and colors ng photo natin, but later na lang yan, okay? I-open na lang muna natin to. So let's click open. Ayan, so na-open na. Nandito na tayo sa space natin, ano? You can choose whatever photo na nandun sa resources na binigay ko, no? But this one, I will be choosing this one kasi we have an interesting subject here. A man who jumped, who backflip pa nga in the desert while it's sunset. Okay, so our challenge was to isolate or to move a subject from our photo using the move tool and the lasso tool. Okay, so let's see. Pupunta ako, the keyboard shortcut of lasso tool is letter L, right? So I will click letter L and let's see if magbabago yung mouse pointer ko. So letter L, ayan. Napunta na tayo sa lasso tool. So if we're now here in lasso tool, I can just draw over, make an outline of my object. Ayan, slowly. Ayan. And then, we enclose it. Ayan. So now there will be parang moving dashed lines connected to each other, which signifies that yung selection natin ay nakaselect na talaga. Okay? So I hope you're also doing this real time, no? I will be talking slowly and teaching slowly and also demonstrate to you slowly para nakakasabay tayong lahat. Okay? Nagawa po ba natin? Alright. So, paano ba natin to mapapagalaw? So, not by not using the same button, no? Kasi kapag trinay natin na gamitin itong lasso tool pa rin and then do a left click, ang magagalaw lang natin ay alin? Yung selection lang. Okay? So, ibabalik ko ngayon yung selection. Ayan. So, para natin to magalaw, babalik tayo dun sa move tool. So, di ba yung move tool, it is used to move objects. So, even selections, ang kailangan natin gawin ay yung move tool. So, click natin itong tool na to, which is the move tool, or just click your keyboard letter M. Okay? Now, we are in the move tool. So, kapag nilagay ko siya doon sa selection, ito yung mouse point na lalabas. So kapag clinic ko na siya, oops, I'm in selection ulit. So yan, move tool. Okay? So kapag tinanggal ko siya or drinag ko siya, so what happens now is we can freely move our object, no? Nakikita natin. Yan. And then later, ipapakita ko sa inyo kung paano pwedeng gawin ito na liliitan natin siya. Yan. And then, ilagay natin siya sa gitna. Oops. Okay. Now, may convert to normal layer. Let's click convert to normal layer. Yan. And then, nasa move tool pa rin ako. And then, okay. Yan. Papakita ko sa inyo kung paano gagawin ito. Let's see if Photoshop will do a good job in filling up the spaces. Ayan. Very good, di ba? Nakita natin. So ngayon, pwede na natin igalaw-galaw kung saan yung object natin. But later pa yan, okay? Ipapakita ko muna sa inyo yung power ng Photoshop sa pag-edit ng image, okay? So let's go back to the presentation. If you guys have done na ma-move yung object, yun lang yung kailangan natin gawin for now, okay? Ayan. So kung ito, from here, nagawa natin na pagalawin yung object natin. Ayan. So the shortcut tool pala for move is letter V, not letter M. Sorry. So V, tapos i-move na natin siya. Okay. So now, good job everyone who were able to do yung challenge natin. I hope lahat nakakasabay, ano? So the next one is the crop tool. So sa image naman natin and sa phone natin, di ba? We usually do this, nagka-crop tayo. So it's just the same concept here. We crop our images using the crop tool. Now we have the eyedropper tool, or the keyboard shortcut is letter I. It is a tool used to change your foreground color to whatever color you click on it. So kapag din hinold natin yung Alt key, it will change your, the separate one, which is the background color. Okay? And then the next one is the healing brush tool. Ito, very powerful tool ito. Ito yung ginagamit na tool para magtanggal ng mga unwanted objects and also mga pimple marks. So let's say we have clutter, yung mga ganon. Lahat ng unwanted things sa image natin, pwede natin matanggal using the healing brush tool. So kung pimples man yan, nunal man yan, buhok man yan, mata man yan, even yung mata, bibig, ilong, kung ayaw nyo nun, tanggalin natin. Pwede natin tanggalin. Sa nature naman, kung ayaw natin ng sun, ayaw natin ng moon, ayaw natin ng leaves, ng trees, or ng isda, anything, pwede rin natin yun matanggal. Okay? So, doon sa button na yon, meron tayong different pa na mga buttons under it. Okay? So, meron tayong spot healing brush tool, meron tayong healing brush tool, patch tool, and red eye tool. So, what it does is, sa spot healing brush tool, it automatically analyzes the document when you brush over the image. And then the healing brush tool, you have to manually select an anchor point by clicking Alt. And then on the patch tool, which is my favorite, manually create a selection to patch a part of the document. And the red eye tool is, it removes red eye. Usually sa mga digital cameras that produces red eyes, we can use red eye tool. Okay? Here, the challenge here is to choose a photo, then try removing some unwanted marks in his or her face using the healing patch tool. Okay? So I'll go back to my Photoshop screen. And then pwede na natin tong EX. And then don't save. Ito, pwede na rin natin tong EX. Then select tayo ng image. For example, this one. So drag and drop, okay? But we can also do file and then open, or in Mac, because I'm using Mac, we can do Command O, and sa Windows naman is Control O, okay? So let's go, open, click open. Ayan, so magpo-prompt yan na meron tayong window, tapos punta lang tayo dun sa kung nasaan yung files natin. So for me, it's in the downloads area. Okay, I want Photoshop to give access. And then resources. Ayan. So dito, nandito na yung mga resources natin. Pwede tayong mag-icons para makita natin ang mas maganda. Ayan. Kita na natin. Ngayon, yung isa-select ko ay itong photo na to. And then, just click open. Alright. So, ito may prompt ulit tayo. Since these are raw photos, i-click lang ulit natin yung open. Hindi po yung done ha. Open po yung i-click natin. Because if you click done, wala po siyang gagawin. Hindi niya i-open yung file. So, yung i-click natin is the open file. Okay? Alright. Now, ang sabi dun sa challenge natin ay choose a photo, then try removing some unwanted marks in his or her face using the healing patch tool. So yung photo na napili ko is yung girl doon sa resources natin. But you can also choose a photo of your choice. You can choose a photo of yourself, a photo of your mom, your dog, anyone. A photo of your loved one. So pwede rin photo of your teachers, your classmates, yan. Pero wag natin paglalaroan yung mukha nila ha. Okay. So, ito, nagzo-zoom in ako ngayon sa mukha niya. The way na mag-zoom ako is here. Nandito din siya sa may tool box. So, may magnifying glass dyan, sorry. So, i-click lang natin yon, and then mag-iba yung icon natin, and then we can zoom in na. And then if you press Alt, or sa ano naman, Mac ay option, magiging minus sign yung nakalagay sa mouse icon natin. So, kapag click natin yon, mag-zoom out naman siya. Okay? So, zoom in is the normal left click, and then zoom out is the Alt or option. Hold nyo lang yung Alt and yung option, and then just click left click. Okay? So, nag-zoom in, zoom out na siya. So, ngayon, gusto kong tanggalin yung mga nunal sa mukha niya and some freckles and some unwanted marks yon. So, sabi, pumunta lang tayo dun sa patch tool. So, nasaan daw yon? We can click letter J, or dito sa panel natin or sa toolbox natin, nandito yung spot healing brush tool. So, let's click this one. Ayan. I-click ko lang yon, and then ang gagawin natin ay tataasan natin yung brush size, we can do this by using the bracket on the keyboard. So merong open bracket and then the close bracket. So yung brackets ay yung ganon and yung ganon, yung itsura. Okay? So katabi yon ng letter P sa keyboard natin. Okay? So kapag clinic ko yung open bracket, let's see, nasaan yung mouse ko? Ito yung mouse ko, di ba? Let's see. So if my mouse is here and I click the open bracket, what it does is it increases or decreases the size? It decreases the size. So kapag naman yung close bracket, ang nangyayari ay nag-i-increase yung brush size natin. So for example, here, ayan, halos buong mukha na niya yung size ng brush natin. So liitan lang natin enough dun sa size nung, ayan. So ito, pwede na, sakto na to. So let's try clicking. Yan. So see, in just one click, natanggal yung blemish niya. So another click, isakto natin doon sa size. Okay, click lang natin. And there you have it. Diba? Natatanggal na automatically. Napaka-powerful ng Photoshop. So if you're not satisfied, you can just click and then hanggat sa makuha ninyo yung desired results ninyo. So tatanggalin din natin itong mark lines dito sa may mouth area. What else? Ayan. So let's see ano yung mangyayari kapag nilakihan natin yung brush size natin. So yan. Try natin i-click sa nose kung may magiging effect ba. Sometimes hindi kasi accurate si Photoshop. So let's see. Ayan. Naging siya si Voldemort. So, i-undo natin yan. Just click command, click sa Mac ay Command Z, sa Windows ay Control Z. Okay? So, Command Z tayo para wag natin tagalan siya ng ilong. Yan. So, nagawa ba? Nagawa natin? Ayan. So, we were able to use the healing or patch tool. Sige. I'll try to use other tools doon sa Photoshop, no? So, i-right click ko lang yung spot healing brush tool and then let's see what other tools we can use. We have the healing brush tool. So, balik natin yung details sa mukha niya. So, just click undo. So, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z until bumalik lahat to original. And then, right-click on the spot healing tool and the healing brush, select the healing brush tool. So, let's see kung paano. Okay, so nung nag-click ako, left-click, it said, option click to define a source point to be used to repair the image. So, paano ba natin gagamitin tong healing brush tool? For example, for you to move pala the image is you hold space and then may lalabas na kamay. Tapos pwede na natin i-left click and i-drag doon sa desired position ng image natin. Okay? So just click the space bar or hold the space bar and then pwede na natin galawin yung image natin. Okay. So now, we're in the healing brush tool. Ang gagawin natin ay i-click daw natin yung option key. So kapag click na natin yung option key, lalabas yung parang target na icon. So for example, yung gusto kong ipalit dito sa unwanted mark na to ay itong surface na to. So i-hold ko yung option and then i-click ko yung area kung saan ko gustong mapalitan. Okay? So here, I will click here. Nag-click na ako dito sa area na to. And then, kung makikita natin, yung brush natin automatically filled by nung area na clinic natin kanina. So if we increase the size there, makikita natin na real time, mapapalitan din yung area na pwede nating mapalit. Dun sa area na unwanted area natin. So if we click here, yon, di ba? May nakita kayo na plus sign. So again, i-click ulit, left click. Ayan. So makikita ninyo may plus sign dun sa right, which is the first spot na pinuntahan natin or sinelect natin para dun sa second spot, yun na yung ma-replace niya. So I can even replace this spot. Kunyari, gusto ko yung mata niya. I will hold option and then click on the eyes. So click. And then makikita natin na yung mata na yung nakaselect. And pwede na natin maglagay ng mata sa cheeks. Automatically. Ayan, di ba? Ang funny. Pero that's how powerful Photoshop is. Okay? So let's click undo. And then this one is my favorite tool, the patch tool. So madali lang to kasi gamitin. Ang mangyayari lang ay isa-select lang natin yung area na ayaw natin. Hindi to automatic click, magbabago na. Ito, may freedom tayo to select whatever we like to select. So for example, here, ayan. So ang gagawin natin ay i-duplicate natin, let's say, yung nunal dito. Ang gagawin ko ay isa-select ko tong selection and then pwede ko na siyang i-drag kung saan ko gusto yung area na papunta. So, for example, here, ayan. Ang mangyayari, if dito ko ilagay, may-replicate yung nunal niya. So, if i-release ko yung drag, ang mangyayari ay magkakaroon na ako ng nunal dito sa kabila. So, if I want to remove this and then I just select it and then drag it to some place na walang nunal or some place na malinis. So, yan, nag-drag and drop na ako. So now, that area is clean again. So here, drag and drop. It's now clean. Here, drag and drop. Now it's now clean. Okay? So, I'm just moving here. Again, just hold the space bar for you to move and then drag your photo elsewhere. So, let's see dito kung magagawa ng paraan to. So, here, ayoko nung ano ba to? Pearl na nandito. So, drag and drop. So, i-align lang natin. Let's see if mag-align siya. And then, boom. So, let's see. Nawala na yung pearl. Okay? So, I hope nagagawa at nakakasunod yung mga audience natin, no? Yan. Okay. Now, let's proceed. The next button is the brush tool naman, which is letter B on the keyboard. It paints part of your document in your selected color and size. So meron tayo later na color palette. Ipapakita ko sa inyo kung paano palitan yung colors na nandun and how we can paint over or draw over the images. Okay? And then next one is we have the clone stamp tool, which is letter C naman sa keyboard natin. What it does is para siyang healing brush tool but does not blend it. Okay? Kasi yung healing brush tool, yung mga patch tool, spot healing tool, automatic yan na yung Photoshop, i-blend niya na yung surroundings agad para seamless agad yung itsura. Okay? But here in the clone stamp tool, kung ano yung iselect mo, hindi niya i-blend yon but ito totally duplicate na lang yon. Okay? Next one is eraser tool. We have letter E naman sa keyboard. It erases part of the document. Easy as that. Gradient tool, letter G, used to create gradients. So right-click to show the paint bucket tool naman daw. Okay? So when you right-click on the gradient tool, may paint bucket tool naman siya nakasama. And then the text tool is used to put text. Okay? So now we have here another challenge. Using a photo of your choice, duplicate an element using the clone stamp tool. Medyo nagawa na natin siya kanina. Okay? Nung nag-duplicate ako ng mga mata. So, let's try if we can do that using the clone stamp tool. So, the icon of the clone stamp tool is this one. It looks like a stamp. So, i-click ko lang to and then it will create again a brush. So, ngayon, maliit yung brush natin. So, lakihan natin using the closed bracket which is close to your letter P sa keyboard. Ayan. So, may parang buhok na lumalabas na, no? So, ibig sabihin may nakaselect na agad. So, mag-option lang ulit tayo. Hold option and then click on the eyes. Ayan. Click ko na yung eye. Yung isang eye. And then, what it does kapag in-enlarge natin yung brush, sorry, yun na yung pwedeng ma-replicate. So, kung gusto ko may third eye siya, ayan, di ba? Pwedeng lakihan pa natin para mas accurate. So, again, hold the option on your keyboard. Click on the eyes, the center of the eyes. And then, ayan, pwede na tayo mag-duplicate ng parts ng mukha niya. Okay? So, ngayon, third eye na si ate. Di ba? Meron na siyang third eye. So, let's try again. Clone stamp. Okay, this one, it's letter S. Try naman natin yung ilong. Lagay tayo ng ilong sa noo. Yan. So, click, click. Now we have a nose sa forehead. Okay? So, undo, undo. Okay. So, nagawa naman natin yung challenge, no? So, dun sa photo of your choice, pwede kayo mag-duplicate ng kahit ano. It's just that yung photo na ginamit ko ay portrait. So, yung mga elements and objects na nandun sa picture ay usually mga mata, ilong, lips, but you can also pick a photo of your choice. Kunyari, landscape yan. You can also duplicate parts of your landscape. Let's say, mountain. Ganun ka powerful ng Photoshop. Even mountains, it can duplicate. Okay? Next naman is, let's try using the gradient tool to create a vignette effect. Okay? So let's go again to Photoshop. Yeah. So zoom out tayo. Again, just press Z and then hold option para mag-minus sign. And then pwede natin i-click yung zoom out. And then release the option para mag-plus sign na siya and then it will zoom out. Okay? So sabi, let's create a gradient. So for example here, click ko na yung gradient button and then pwede ko na siyang i-drag and drop. Yan. So dito naman, what we can do is i-click natin yung circular. Oops, sorry. I-undo muna natin siya and then let's click this one, the second option. Pwede din ito, pwede din ito. Basta yung circular na button, okay? And then we can do this. Yan. Okay. So here we have the gradient tool. Ito to, opaque yung kinalabasan ng magiging gradients natin. Ayan. So you can explore. Magkakaroon tayo ng gradient. And then you can change the color here. Dito sa taas. Okay. Balik tayo. I-click lang natin tong part na to. And then, what we can do is, so nandito ka sa circle. Click natin to. So, I want it to be black, this one. And then for this one, yung white area naman, I want this, click natin tong white button here. Ipahin natin yung opacity, gawin natin 0. And then let's click OK or press OK. And then tignan natin kung ano yung magiging effect niya. Okay. So, it did the opposite. So, mag-undo tayo. Okay. And then, click natin yung reverse. Okay, yan, reverse. And then, drag and drop again. So, let's see. Ayan, meron na tayong gradient. So, pwede nyo lakihan yung pag-drop. And iba-ibahin yung mga angles. Okay? Yan. Okay. Ganun lang siya kadali. And also, later, dito sa may adjustment panel naman, we can also create a beautiful, perfect gradient using the adjustment tool here. May gradient din dito. So, ipapakita ko sa inyo kung paano gumawa ng perfect one. according to your photo size, okay? So, cancel muna natin to and let's go back to the presentation. Okay. So now I want you to explore more on the buttons na na-discuss natin. So brush tool, clone stamp tool, eraser tool, gradient tool, text tool, crop tool, eyedropper tool, healing brush tool, lasso tool, magic wand tool, move tool, and rectangular marquee tool. So bibigyan ko kayo ng 3 minutes to explore and discover ano ba yung nagagawa ng mga buttons na yon, okay? And then you can go try the challenges again para lang ma-familiarize kayo dun sa buttons. Okay? So, 3 minutes starts now.
Alright, so far, kamusta kayo dyan? Nakakapag-explore ba? May mga nagko-comment, no, sana daw ay sila ay may laptop. Siguro yung isang gadget lang yung kanilang pinapanoodan. Well, anyway, you can always watch the replay, ano. And you can also download yung Photoshop. Meron silang free trial. We are using also that, yung free trial. And makikita nyo pa rin yung same na mga applications doon na tinuturo ni Sir Hill. Okay? So, kamusta so far? Kamusta ang mga nanonood? Ang daming ano ha, ang daming mga comments na alam na daw nila kung paano sila pumogi, ganyan. Kaya daw pala maganda yung kanilang nililigawan, baka marunong sa Photoshop. Anyway, mamaya, tingnan natin para saan ba yung mga applications na yan, tsaka hanggang saan ba dapat ini-edit, no? Yung mga pictures. Kasi we also have what we call media literacy. Um, Kailangan we also promote yung parang self-love na kung sino ka, ano ka, dapat mahalin mo yon. Like si Tita Aggie, meron siyang question kanina. Pwede ko ba yun basahin para malaman ni Sir Kid? Let me just check. How to edit skin color without altering the background po from Tita Aggie.
Sige,
Ayan.
later. Later.
Alin daw mas effective, Kid? Adobe Photoshop or si Blank Clinic? Last trip to si Tita
Kung gusto
Aggie.
niyo ng instant Adobe Photoshop.
Walang ano, walang babayaran.
Oh, wala pa babayaran. Free trial lang.
Oh, love your own skin daw, Tita Aggie. Black is
Okay.
beautiful.
Ate She, pwede na po tayong bumalik ulit.
Alright, go ahead.
Okay, so let's proceed again. I will just share my screen to you. Okay. So, the next buttons are the blur tool and the sharpen tool and the smudge tool. So ito very powerful tong tools na mga susunod ha. And the next ones are dodge tool, burn, and sponge. It's better na ipakita ko na lang kung ano yung nagagawa nito rather than explaining it here sa presentation, no? So let's go back sa Photoshop natin. And then here, the next button, we have the blur tool. So increase natin yung brush size ulit. So zoom in lang ako. Ayan. And then, let's go back to the blur button. And then increase ko yung size using the close bracket tool, close bracket key sa keyboard. And then if I paint over, may kita natin dito sa may option panel, merong nakalagay na strength is 50%. Okay? So let's just try 50%, no? So now I will drag my mouse over here and see what the effect looks like. So as compared to the other eye, which is very clear, this one ang ginawa niya is na-blur niya yung eyes. So if in your photo, let's say, gusto nyo ng blurred na background or gusto nyo na mag-isolate ng object, you can use the blur tool, okay? And then next, we have the sharpen tool. So what it will do is it will sharpen our object. So here, lakihan ko ulit yung brush size. So ito, makikita natin, itong part na to, medyo blur siya, no? Kasi nakafocus siya dun sa mata ng subject natin. So let's see kung hanggang saan kaya gawin ng sharpen tool para maging sharp din yung area na to. Okay? So, click over. Ayan. Alright? So, nagawa naman niyang ma-sharpen, no? But the consequence is, it kind of looks like low quality and also may grains, no? Kasi yung sa sharpen tool, what it does is it introduces parang grain doon sa object na yon para magmukha siyang sharp. Okay? So, here's the before and here's the after. Siguro with the right amount, no, pwede natin gawin. So, let's try again. So, click lang, click ulit. Okay. Maybe this one is better, no? Kasi dun sa umpisa. So, half na. Alright. So now let's try the last one, the smudge tool. So ang nangyayari dito sa smudge tool is yung colors ay magsa-smudge. So literally if I drag my mouse over to here, ano nangyayari? Nasa-smudge siya, no? Yan. Oh no, parang watercolor or painting. So nasa-smudge siya. So we can create an effect to something like this. Ito, ma-recommend ko tong smudge tool if you want your water sa photos natin o water surface to look creamy, ganon. So pwede natin gamitin itong smudge tool. And then the next button naman is yung dodge, burn, and smudge tool. Just click the key O in your keyboard. So, i-click ko na yung O. Yan. Or you can click here as well. So, nasa dodge tool tayo ngayon. Increase the brush size. And then, what it does is, it will lighten the part of your subject, no? So, for example, itong part na to madilim. Or yung eyes niya madilim. So, ang gagawin natin ay, increase natin yung size. And then, paint over it. So, makikita natin na nag-lighten up instantly yung cheeks niya. So kapag napataas yung contour ninyo sa sarili ninyo, pwede nyo gamitin yung dodge tool. Also, dodge tool pwede rin siyang gamitin sa landscapes or any kind of photos din. Anything that is dark or that lacks exposure or anything underexposed, pwede natin gamitin yung dodge tool. Okay? So undo, undo. Etong dodge tool, favorite ko. Etong tool na to, dodge tool, bird tool, favorite ko to na ginagamit sa mata, sa portraits especially. And also, sometimes sa skies, may mga parts na gusto akong i-lighten up or i-darken. So for example, gagawin ko dito is i-lighten ko yung mata niya. Yan. So click over, click lang. Para mas clear pa tignan yung kung ano yung nasa mata niya. And, o diba? Para siya naka-contact lens. Para kakaiba na yung mata niya. Mas na-enhance yung mata niya. Okay? So, let's undo that. Ayan. So, let's go back to our presentation. Ito naman, we have the rectangular tool or the shape tool pala. So for the shape tool, you can just click letter U for the keyboard shortcut and then it will go directly to the rectangular tool. So if nag-shift tayo, let's hold shift and then click U. may lalabas pa na ibang options. So we have the first one is the rectangular tool. The second one is the rounded rectangular tool. Third is ellipse tool. Fourth, polygon tool. And then line tool. And then custom shape tool. Okay? So maraming tools dyan. And then under it, we have the color palette icon. So we have the foreground color, which is on the top, and the background color, which is at the bottom. Okay? So let's see. Tingnan natin sa Photoshop ulit. Balik tayo. Okay. So here we have the shape tool. So I will click here and then drag and drop. So eto, nasa rectangular tool kasi ako. So rectangle yung lumalabas. No? So kapag i-release ko siya, it will create another layer here sa lower right natin ng shape. Okay? And then I can click the move tool or letter V to move things around or to move it around. Okay? So delete natin yan. Let's just press delete in our keyboard. Punta tayo dun sa layer. Select natin itong layer. So ito, nakaselect na ako ngayon dun sa layer ng shape. And pwede na natin i-delete. Okay? So right click again and then let's use the ellipse tool. Okay. So ngayon, ang makikreate naman ay ellipse. For you to change the color of it is pwedeng punta ulit kayo dun sa layer. Yan, click natin itong layer and then click natin yung shape or yung shape tool. Okay? Para lumabas ito sa options natin kung paano natin siya pwedeng i-alter. So, fill, pwede natin i-double click and then click lang natin itong parang color wheel, tignan, and then lalabas yung color picker window. So, pwede na natin palitan yung color natin. So, for example, here, I'll choose red. Just click OK, it will turn to red. And then, makikita natin na, oops, let's go back to shape. May stroke yan. Pwede natin taasan to. 1px is manifest, but the stroke color is black. So, let's say 40, lalabas na yan. Ayan, di ba? Lumabas na siya. So, pwede yung stroke, pumili din ako ng, kunyari, white. And then just click OK. So, ayan. Ito magagamitan nito sa graphic design. I don't use this oftenly sa photo. So, let's not go into this anymore. Okay? So, let's go back to the layer. Click natin tong ellipse and then just press delete. Okay? And then this one naman is the move tool. So, ito yung equivalent ng space. Kapag hinold niyo yung space, pwede nyo nang mag-move. Okay? And then this one is the zoom in, zoom out. Okay? So, ito naman yung sinasabi natin na set foreground color and set background color. So, this one is the foreground color. Kapag click ko, lalabas ulit yung color picker. So, I can select any color. So, let's say, for example, blue. And then click OK. Magbabago na yung nasa color picker natin. And then, automatically, kapag gumatay ng shape, yun na yung color na lalabas. And then, for the background naman, pwedeng red. Yan. So, pwedeng maging interchangeable yan, no? So, automatically makikita natin na yung fill magbabago. Okay? So, if you want to go back to black and white, pwede nyo nang i-click tong part na to. Okay? Yan. So, let's go back to the presentation again. Ayan. We have a challenge here. Using a photo of your choice, play around the effects of blur, sharpen, smudge, dodge, burn, and sponge. Okay? So, I'll give you 3 minutes ulit. Or let's say 2 minutes para mabilis lang. To play with the blur, sharpen, smudge, dodge, burn, and sponge with a photo of your choice. Okay? You may now start.
Okay, so keep on exploring, guys. Kung may mga questions, just please don't hesitate to comment them down on our comment section sa ating comment box para ma-raise natin mamaya kay Sir Hill. Alright, so kamusta sila Isa Ann Ravino? Sabi nila mga sa mobile phone sila. So mamaya tanungin natin kay Sir Hill kung ano ba yung mga ibang apps na pwede nyo rin ma-explore kung mobile phones lang ang meron kayo. Yung iba, iPad naman. Ayan. So, kamusta? Kamusta so far? Meron tayong viewers na nandito, no? Yung iba nanonood lang kasi nga yung ibang gadget nila ay gamit saka papanood ng webinar. So again, don't worry, you can always watch the replay para mabalikan ninyo yung mga tinuturo ni Sir Hill. Si Carlo Orenzo, ayan, hi, napaka-active sa pagko-comment at pagsagot sa mga questions. Thank you for participating. Sila Isa Marie George, ayan. Na-late daw siya, okay lang yan. Pwede pang ma-watch ang replay. Okay, sila Garcia Damasco Grace, Precious Antoinette Cachelar, good morning sa mga lahat ng nakikinig. Regarding the PowerPoint, guys, PowerPoint presentation ni Sir Hill, we will be asking for the copy from him. Siguro right after na matapos lahat ng mga webinars, allow us to, or give us time pa na ma-send sa inyo yung mga materials natin from session 1 to 3. Yun na yung prepping up for success, public speaking, power dressing, and then resume writing, and acing job interviews, and then itong themes na, or theme natin under the leveling up your design skills, yung 456, graphic design, smartphone photography, and then yung Photoshop, using Adobe Photoshop. We will be sending all the materials to you. Just kindly give us time, hindi agad-agad, kasi we also need to do self-care and self-love. All right? So far,
Okay.
sana okay kayo. Ayan, Sir Hill? Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ate She. So let's move on. I hope you were able to explore the buttons of blur, sharpen, smudge, dodge, burn, and sponge, no? Okay. So let's move on. Discuss natin yung layer part. So we have here, this is what the layer window looks, no? So the layers, a layer is a blank canvas. They are like sheets of stacked acetate. So isipin lang natin na each layer creates one acetate, okay? Na may nakaabot ba dito ng acetate paper or acetate na yung gumagamit ng acetate for the projector? Yan. Ako naabutan ko yon. Okay? The next one is opacity. Yung opacity pertains to the master opacity. Ito yung transparency nung layer natin. And then the other one is fill. So this one is very internal naman dun sa fill. So interior opacity to. It works in conjunction with the layer effects. Okay? So blending modes. Ito, we can create different blending modes between two or more layers or even to all of the layers. Okay? Later, ipapakita ko sa inyo kung ano yung nagiging effect ng blending modes. Very beautiful. Effects layer or layer effects, it is used to add shadows, glow, overlays, etc. And then the next one is adjustment layer. It is used to change curves, threshold, hue, saturation, etc. Ito yung tinatanong ni Tita Agi kanina, paano ko mapapalitan yung skin color ko nang hindi ko napapalitan yung color ng background. Later, ipapakita ko sa inyo po later. Okay? And then create new group is we just group layers together. Okay? So, this one, correct the exposure of a photograph using the adjustment layer. So, let's try this. Let's go back. Tanggalin na natin to. Let's not save it. Pili tayo ng badly exposed photo. So, for example, this one, exposure, low light. Okay? I just drag and drop and then click open. So, ito, sa photo na to, hindi natin masyadong kita yung nagigitara, di ba? So, what we can do is click this one, adjustment layer. So, itong parang ginan niyang icon. So, if we click that, meron lalabas ng mga options dito. Madami yan. You can explore that. Pero yung relevant lang sa atin ay this, brightness and contrast, levels, curves, exposure, vibrance, hue, color balance, black and white, and photo filter, channel mixer, color lookup. Yon. Tsaka itong selective color. Itong parts na to, ayan. And also this one, the last one, yun yung magiging relevant sa photo editing natin. Okay? So let's see. Let's click on the brightness and contrast. So lalabas dyan sa properties, pwede na natin ma-edit yung brightness and yung contrast. So kapag tinaasan ko yung brightness, let's see. Ayun. mas nakikita na natin yung naggigitara. And then kapag in-increase natin yung contrast, when we say contrast kasi is the how powerful or contrasting yung lights and shadows natin. So if we pull to the left side, mas nag-even out yung lights and shadows natin or highlights and shadows natin. But if we move it to the right side, mas nakikita natin yung separation between the highlights and the shadows. Okay? So, yan. So, pwede na natin paglaruan. So, for example, here, ayoko nang masyadong contrasting yung photo. So, I will move it here sa left side. And brightness, todo, para kita yung ano natin, subject natin. So, here in the layers part, meron tayong makikita na parang mata na icon. If you click that, matatanggal yung layer na yon or hindi natin mag-view yung layer na yon. So here's the before. Kung gusto niyo makita yung before and after, just click on the eye icon next to the layer na adjustment layer na ginawa ninyo para makita ninyo yung before and after. Okay? So, here's the effect of the brightness and contrast. If in case lang na yung photo ninyo ay underexposed or overexposed. Okay? So, delete na natin yan. Let's try other adjustment tools. So here sa levels, mas complicated na ito than the brightness and contrast. So we have here parang graph. So makikita natin dito may mga buttons yan. This one, and this one. So it pertains to different exposure levels. So for here, this one, ito yung blacks. And then this one, ito yung normal exposures. And then this one is the whites and the highlights. So kapag binove ko to, alright, ano nangyayari? Mas nagda-darken pa, di ba? Kasi ang ina-amplify natin is yung blacks. So moving it to the right amplifies it. So left, ito namang normal or the gray area. Kapag minove natin sa left, ayan, mas, di ba, relatively yung yung normal or yung gray area, yung nasa left niya is yung blacks. So kapag minove natin siya closer to the blacks, ang nangyayari ay mas nagla-lighten up yung blacks. So kapag nilagay naman natin siya sa right, mas nagda-darken palalo. Okay? And then here, sa highlights, kapag minove natin siya sa left, as compared to the rest, mas tumataas din yung brightness. So, even up to, yan, super grainy na and super ninanakaw na siya ng ilaw. Masyado na siyang overexposed. Yan. So, ayaw natin yan. Siguro, probably here. Yan, pwede na to. Okay? So, ito na sa ilalim naman is the shadows and the highlights din. So, if i-increase natin yung shadows going to the highlights, may kita natin na natatanggal yung blacks and pwedeng mapunta na lang siya to white. Okay? And then, it's the opposite for here. Matatanggal yung highlights going to just the blacks. Okay? Alright. So, tanggalin na natin yan. Sa curves naman, we can edit the RGB. Kapag RGB, if all colors are present, ang na-edit natin is yung white and black ng photo or yung mismong exposure ng photo. So, if I click here, this is the highlights part, yung nasa taas na square box. So, kapag binaba ko, bababa din siya. Kapag tinaas ko dito, tataas din siya. So, here naman sa shadows and blacks, kapag nilagay ko siya sa right side, mas magbo-black pa siya. And kapag nilagay ko siya sa pataas, relatively pataas, tataas pa siya. So if you can see here, di ba, may gradient dito na dito focus yung blacks. And then if you move away, may white. So mas magla-lighten. And if here, from black, if you move away to the gradient, it will be white. Okay? And then, you can change it from RGB to red. So for example, ito, pwede natin ma-enhance yung sunsets natin dito. Sige, pili tayo ng ibang photo. Okay, so for example, this one ulit. So kapag click ko yung adjustment tool dito and click the curves, okay, So, pwede ko din na i-click yung gitna. It will automatically create a new square and pwede nyo nang ma-edit yung photo ulit. So, ito, hindi na siya yung sa highlights and shadows. It's just the normal exposure of the photo. So, usually, we just click in the middle and then i-drag natin yung square na yon or point na yon kung saan natin gusto. So, for example, ito, gusto ko na kitang-kita yung gusto ko silhouette yung subject at kita-kita yung sunset, no? So, yan. Ilalagay ko lang siya dyan. And then, we click another adjustment tool. So, or no. Let's just go here to the same curves, no? And play around the RGB. So, let's say red. Click natin yung red. So, may drop-down menu dyan. So, click natin yung red. Kapag click ko yung gitna ng red ulit and drag it somewhere else, mas nagiging red yung photo natin. But the opposite of red is what? Green, di ba? So, sa color wheel natin, tinuro ko yun sa graphic design. So, the opposite color of red is green. So, kapag nilagay ko siya sa ilalim, ang nangyayari ay mas nagiging green yung photo natin. So, that is how you change the color of your photo. So, let's try, undo natin. Let's try naman with the greens. Kapag in-increase natin yung green, syempre, mas magiging green siya. And the opposite of green is violet or magenta. So, ang mangyayari ay mas magiging pinkish siya. Okay? Undo again. And then on the blue side, kapag in-increase ko yung blue, mas nagiging blue. And the opposite of blue is yellow or orange. So, ayan. Mas pwede ko ma-enhance yung sunset pa. So, if we can mix it together, so kunyari gusto ko yellow, ayan, click natin. And then let's go to red para mas mag-red pa siya. Ayan, di ba? So, if I want to see the before and after, let's just click the eye icon here next to the layer, adjustment layer. And then we can see now the before and after. So which one looks better, no? The photo is very beautiful in itself already, but using Photoshop to enhance the color, it looks better pa, no? Na-enhance natin yung color, which is, it look really, really warm. So nakita na, feel natin yung sunset, okay? Okay. So you guys can explore more on the adjustment layer. But now let's try to edit a photo. Let's try doing blending modes naman. So I will go back to Photoshop. Tanggalin na natin tong photo. I recommend that you follow me, ha. So for example here, let's choose this photo of the girl na nandun sa resources. Ayan. So look for this photo. We're gonna use it. So drag and drop natin. Ayan. Let's open it. And then click open. Ayan. And then we have another one. That's our resources. This one. Panang cherry blossom. Ayan. Yeah, it's this one. Tama. So, drag and drop natin siya dito sa photo mismo. Hindi dito sa file names. Kasi kapag dito sa file names, it will open separately, no? So, kapag in-open natin siya, ayan, it will open on its own window. Pero kapag dito, binalikan natin, drag and drop, sa mismong picture, mag-open siya doon sa picture mismo. Okay? So let's just click enter. Kasi kapag inopen nyo siya, you have the freedom to enlarge or make it small. So let's just click OK. Yan. So let's say for example, ito yung blending mode. Dito siya na makikita sa usually nakalagay dyan normal, no? And then if we try to tawag dito, experiment and explore, drag and drop natin siya to dissolve, darken, multiply. Makikita natin yung different effects, no? Ayan. So, it looks very nice. Pwede nyo nga paltan yung background eh. Ito, favorite ko yung lighten, especially sa mga mukha ng tao. Nagdo-double exposure ako using lighten. Yan. Ito din, maganda, linear touch. So parang nagkakaroon tayo ng new patterns na napipaint over doon sa damit. So soft light also works good, hard light also works good. Yan. So pin light also looks good. Yan. No? So let's say, let's use pin light. It looks very nice. Yan. Pin light. And then, to change the size of the double exposure layer, yung flower, let's right click. Right click. Let's go to Control T or Command T. Yan. Command T para ibahin natin. It's transform tool, no? So, pwede na natin i-rotate to. So, let's rotate it and enlarge natin siya. Yan. To our desired photo. Yan. So, now, it looks very different, no? From here to here. Pero napansin natin na i-move pa natin siya. Yan. Or let's see if it's the other way around. Ayan, better, no? Mas mukha siyang maganda. Kasi walang nandun sa mukha niya na nagdi-distract. Pero, paano kung meron, no? Yun na lang talaga yung option natin. So, for example, ito, ibaliktad natin, no? May nakikita natin na pati yung mukha niya na sasakop kasi. So, what we can do is we can mask. So, here, sa ibaba ng layers, meron dito na ang tawag ay add layer mask. So, click natin yung layer nung flower. And then let's click layer mask. Ayan. So magkakaroon ng new blank canvas sa gilid nung layer natin, no? So let's click that. Okay, click that. And then automatically kapag click natin yung brush tool, where's the brush tool? Here is the brush tool. So kapag nag-brush tool tayo, it will be set to black and white lang talaga here in the layer mask. So kapag hinover ko yung mouse ko dito, clicking it, wala nangyayari because it is painted in white, this layer. Pero kapag binaliktad ko, I just click the reverse button here. So black na siya, di ba? We will paint this layer with black. Ang nangyayari ay tinatanggalan natin siya ng detail. Okay? So we can remove unwanted details, whatever detail we want na ayaw natin. Kunyari, this one is very unnecessary. We remove it. We paint it with black, no? And then you can see here, it will reflect. If you paint it with black, it will reflect here in the canvas that is white, full white before, na pinipainta na natin siya ng black. So, that is what layer mask does, no? So here, tanggalin natin. Tanggalin ito. And there you have it. We can create a double exposure using the blend modes, no? So we can explore more. Ayan. So we have difference. Oh, it looks very different naman, no? Let's try to paint it with white. Let's see kung anong effect niya. Oh, it looks very nice. Then, yan. Something that will make you creative lang. So just explore and explore. Exclusion, subtract, divide, hue, saturation. So, play around lang kayo. Excuse me. Play around lang kayo dun sa blending modes kasi one of the favorite tools ko to ng Photoshop. Yan. Oh, that looks so nice. Okay. Yan. So, let's proceed to our presentation. Yan. So, eto, before we end, gusto ko lang na i-run through kayo sa editing flow ko or kung paano ako mag-edit ng photo. So, I'll go back to Photoshop. Sige. So, let's select a photo. I'll walk you through, guys, kung paano ba mag-edit ng photo kung ako yung mag-edit. Okay? So for example, sa landscape, I'll choose this one. Ayan. Ayan. Okay. This one is good. We drag and drop. So click lang natin yung open. And then first thing that I noticed here is hindi properly exposed yung mountains natin. Ano? So tingnan natin. Let's increase through the brightness. Yan. Makita na natin na very bright na siya. No? And then if hindi pa siya enough, we can just click again another brightness to create another layer and then increase again the brightness. Yan. Now, that's okay to me. Now, it looks na, from nighttime to daytime. Yan. I think this is too much. So, babaan pa natin. And then, I want to change the color of the sky. So, we go to hue and saturation. And then, here we have the master. Nasa master pa tayo. So, ibig sabihin kapag minove natin tong hue, mag-iiba na din talaga yung color ng lahat. But if I change it to, let's say, just the blue, yung blue part lang yung papalitan niya. Notice that the greens still the same as green. Yan. But the photo is dominantly blue kasi, no? Kaya lahat na papalitan. But let's just say I want it to look something greenish, cooler-ish. Yan. And then let's add a curve. Gusto ko kita yung blacks or yung shadows na onte. Yan. So, increase ko tong blacks. Yan. And then, gusto ko mag-introduce ng something yellow. Yan. Pwede din. Mag-blue tayo. And then, let's go to red. Increase natin yung red somehow para hindi nakakain yung forest natin. So now, I will group this together. Click nyo lang tong layer na to and hold shift. Tapos, click nyo yung layer na gusto nyo mag-group. So there, select na sila yung mga layers na gusto ko i-group. And then, just click this icon, create a new group. Ayan. So, nag-group together ka na sila. Kapag tinanggal ko, so I can see the before and after, no? Yan. So, if I don't want unnecessary specks here, what I can do is go to the spot healing brush tool and just click on it. Okay? Now, piniklik ko lang siya and automatically nawawala na yung mga specks na ayaw ko. No? Alright. So, that's for the landscape. So, let's now save it. Punta naman tayo dito sa duplicating objects. Ayan. Ayan. So, eto gagawin ko ng madami. Paano ba yon gagawin? I-unlock natin tong layer natin kasi currently hindi natin siya pwedeng magawa. So, i-double click natin siya para maging normal layer siya. So, the name of the layer, pwede nyo, yan, peach. Or ano ba to? Apricot ba to? Peach. Ito kasi nila apricot. Let's see, apricot. Yan. So, ngayon, wala na yung lock na nandito sa layer, no? So, what we can do is i-control T tayo or transform. Yan. And then, pwede natin siyang iitan. And then, for you to duplicate a layer, pwede kayong mag-right click dun sa layer mismo and then click duplicate layer. Tapos, okay. Tapos, i-move natin siya using the move tool, which is letter V in your keyboard. So, yan, mag-move na siya. Yan. So, ito, to move two layers at the same time, just hold shift and then click on the other layer. And then, make sure that you're on the move tool para ma-move natin siya. Okay? And then, to resize again, just use Command T. Ayan. So, may resize na sila pareho. And then, let's duplicate this one again. Let's click OK. Yan. So ngayon, i-click natin sila lahat. Just use the shift again and then Command T para ma-resize natin siya. So again, let's try to duplicate again all three. Pwedeng i-group natin siya together and then Let's duplicate. The shortcut keys remain the same, guys, ha? So yung shortcut, if yung version is 2020, 2021, or Photoshop CS6, CC, yung mga ganon, it's still the same. So now, I have a version of the peaches, no? So let's see kung kaya nating maayos yung ano, mga lines na yan. So what we can do is select all layers again. So shift and then right click tapos merge. Yan, merge layers. So now it's ano na lang, isang image na lang siya, no, na nagagalaw. So let's see kung kaya natin maayos yung lines using the patch tool. So let's see. I will select this line and then try natin na i-move siya here. And let's see. Ayun, no? Nagbabago na, di ba? And then you just repeat it over and over again. Or may technique kami na ginagawa which is you select something or like for example the lasso tool. Let's use the lasso tool. Select something and then go to edit and then fill, stroke, and content aware fill. Ito, just go to edit and content aware fill. Kapag click nyo yon, ayan. Where's the window? Ay, sorry guys. Okay. Let's go back pala. Ulit. Lasso tool and then fill. Ayan, fill lang pala, sorry. Not content aware fill. So fill and then content, dapat nasa content aware siya. And then just click OK. And then let's see if Photoshop can clean, no? Ayan. So hindi niya na-clean. Let's try to be more specific. Ayan, using the lasso tool. So edit, fill, content aware. Ayan. So natatanggal pa rin naman niya. So it's just tedious pero it's workable, no? Explore this, then better, no? Photo na pwede kong ituro sa inyo. Let's see. Siguro, adding an effect na lang to the photo, no? So, for example, ay, ituro ko lang pala, mabilis lang yung skin. So, what I do is, okay, so click natin yung what I do is go to adjustment layer, click hue and saturation, and then go to master and click the yellow or red. Depende yan sa color ng skin tone nyo. Pero you can also do, sige, click natin. May option kasi dito na kapag inopen natin siya, di ba? Mas accurate kasi tong panel na to. Mas maganda to. So kapag pumunta tayo sa color grading, color mixer. Okay? So we have the option of orange. So punta tayo sa color mixer, may option dyan na orange. So kapag nasa hue tayo ngayon, so ayan, may kita nyo, lahat ng orange or the skin tone, nagbabago yan. So let's say, for example, yung saturation ng orange, pwede natin babaan. So mas nagiging, maputla siya, no? And then let's go to luminance. Ito yung brightness or darkness of a color. So kapag binaba ko, mas magda-darken yung orange, iitim siya. Kapag tinaas ko, mas maglalighten yung orange, puputi na siya. Okay? So here, ayan o, napaka-mistisa na niya ngayon. As compared to the first one. Okay? So kapag ganyan yung gusto nyo, pwede nyo namang gawin. Done. Okay? Sige. Let's go to the last one, adding effects lang. So, ito, may photo tayo na ganito yung itsura. Yan. How are we going to make this something very cool, very winter? So here, let's open this and let's try to edit it. I-open na natin siya. Kasi not everybody is using RAW naman. So, I'm not editing using the RAW feature. I'm editing using here mismo sa Photoshop. So, punta tayo sa color balance. Let's see. We have the midtones, shadows, and highlights. Since gusto ko siyang magmukhang winter, di ba dapat bluish? So, move natin yung midtones natin to blue. Okay, cyan and blue. And then also the highlights. Ayan. So now instantly, the photo looks cooler, no? So i-crop din natin to into something better framing. So let's click crop. So now I'm cropping. Gusto ko na sa gitna sila. Ayan. And then just click enter. Ayan. Now we can add an effect. Punta tayo ulit dun sa resources. Meron dyan na snow.jpg. Ayan. So i-drag and drop natin siya dito. Yan. And then let's fill it. Di ba, I told you to change the size. Just use Command T or Control T. Ayan. And then let's play with the blending modes and see if pwede natin siya mapagmukhang winter. Okay? Ayan na. Lumalabas na ang mga snow. Okay? We have others pa. But I like the feel of this one, the screen. Yan. So, nasa screen na tayo and now it looks like it's snowing, no? Nakapag-add tayo ng effect using the blending mode. Now, pwede natin na i-mask to kasi masyadong madami. Ako, nadadamihan ako. So, this layer, the snow layer, pwede tayo mag-add ng layer mask. And as I mentioned before, punta tayo sa brush tool and then paint over natin ng black. Okay? Let's make sure na nasa black tayo kasi currently yung layer mask natin is white. So to remove objects or to remove unwanted things here in this layer, let's paint it with black, the layer mask. Okay? So for example, ayoko na nandito. So click ko lang yon and then hover ko lang yon. And then pwede ko din babaan or let's say this one, tagalin na natin to, ito, this part, this one too looks redundant, looks too OA, ito OA. Ayan. Tapos, masyadong bold for me. So, babaan natin yung opacity ng layer na to. So, let's say to 80 or 60. Pwede nga 50 para mas subtle pa yung itsura niya. Yan. Yan, di ba? So now, let's see. Let's group all together with just using two layers, adjustment layers, no? Or two layers to modify the photo. This is now the before, which is very warm, looks very warm. And now, I changed it to something very cool and cold. So now it looks like they are having a wedding during the winter. So that's the power of Photoshop talaga, no? If I also want to duplicate them, pwedeng i-select ko sila using the patch tool. Okay? Select ko sila using the patch tool. And then, let's go to the layer of the photo. Drag the guy. Oops, sorry. Drag the guy using the patch tool. Okay? So, I click the patch tool again. And then, pwede ko silang tanggalin. Yan. Or here, pwede kong i-duplicate yung guy. Yan. And here, pwede kong i-duplicate yung girl. Oh, ha? Diba? May ganyang effect. Okay. So, there you have it. Marami pa kayong pwedeng magamit or magawa sa Photoshop. Photoshop is a very, very powerful photo editing tool. As I mentioned before, di ba, nag-start ako ng conceptual. Lahat ng floating objects, photos na ginagawa ko noon, I used to do it in Photoshop. Okay? So, since you're just learning the basics, it's okay to learn na Actually, yung iba dito, hindi naka-basic set, like the blending modes and all. But it's okay to explore pa the adjustment layer here and also the effects layer. But the effects layer is more used in graphic design. So I won't recommend using effects layer kapag na photo lang naman yung ginagamit nyo. It's more on the adjustment layer talaga. Okay? So with that, let's go back to the presentation. With that, end na yung session natin. So thank you so much for listening.
All right. Thank you so much, kid. Sobra very detailed yung discussion mo, ano? At si Jet Malyari, sabi niya, I love how specific the explanations are. Like, even though na wala ka talagang kaalam-alam sa bagay na ito, matututo ka talaga. And I agree.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Kasi sobrang daming tools ng Photoshop na parang pag ako yung nagbukas, hindi siya tulad ng Word na kaya mong aralin in just one sitting eh. But you were able to give us light parang dun sa bawat tools, ano yung gamit niya. So thank you so much, kid.
I hope clear lahat ng concepts and buttons, no? And ma-remember ninyo lahat. I will be sharing my PowerPoint to Miss Cheryl once we're done with the 3-day session. So later after this, I will compile all of the PowerPoints. May nagme-message din sa akin pala na, Sir, can I get a copy of your PowerPoint? We'll be sharing a PDF file, no? Not a PowerPoint file. Okay?
Right. Okay, thank you for your generosity, kid. Now, we have some few questions siguro, no, before we close. We have here from Angelica Frias. Sir Hill, how to avoid pixelated pictures pag nag-edit na po?
Okay. So first one is you have to make sure that your photo is high quality in the first place. Kasi you cannot render or edit a photo that is low quality in the first place and make it a high quality. Medyo misconception yun sa mga tao, no? Especially yun sa mga hindi talaga marurunong. For example, meron akong friend before, she submitted to me a low quality photo and sabi niya, gusto ko siyang ipatarp, gusto ko malaki. Siguro 7 feet by 7 feet. Pero yung photo na binigay niya sa akin is galing sa Facebook lang. So yung mga photos na galing sa Facebook, kapag download natin yon, very low quality yung mga photo na yon. Usually mga 1,000 pixels by 1,000 pixels lang yon. So before you edit, you have to make sure na yung photo na ine-edit nyo, mataas yung resolution, mataas yung photo size. So the recommended resolution for me is 300 dp or pixels. And then for the size, make sure lang natin na siguro mga nasa 3,000 pixels to 5,000 pixels.
All right. I hope that answers your question, Angelica. And sa'yo ko natutunan na halimbawa gusto namin mag-publicity materials. Lagi mo sa akin pinapasend sa email, ayaw mo sa FB kasi nga bababa yung quality. That's the one thing I learned from you.
Oo.
So, in-apply ko na yan ever since na kung may picture, send sa email. Parang, pwede ba sa messenger na lang? Eh, kasi bababa daw yung, ano nga yung quality. And I learned that.
Kasi yun ang, yung size ng Facebook.
Yes. Another question, Sir Hill, is, pwede daw po bang paulit nung sa lasso tool and move tool, yung sa unang challenge, kung paano yata? Yung kung paano tinanggal yung image?
Okay. Sige. Pwede po mag-share ulit ako ng screen.
Okay.
Okay, here. So, balikan natin yung photo kanina. I think it's this one, no? Okay, open.
Yes.
Alright. So, dun sa lasso tool, di ba? So, we click here, this button. So, ngayon, pwede ko na i-select. Freehand selection naman yung lasso tool eh. So, you can select anything in the photo. But for me, since I'm using this photo, I'll select the subject. And then, it's not enough na we just click the lasso tool kapag mag-move tayo ng object. Kasi, again, if we stick to the lasso tool button and try to drag it, what we're moving is the selection itself, not the object. So what we can do is for us to move even the object that we selected, we move to the move tool. So click V or just click the move tool, and then now the mouse pointer icon changes from a mouse pointer with a cut, because what we're doing now is we're removing the object kasi we want to move it, not the selection. So when we move it, ayan na, di ba? So, namumove na natin siya ngayon. Ayun. I hope that's clear.
Okay, thank you so much. Ayan, binalikan talaga ni Sir Hill, no, Romel, yung sa unang challenge. And then we have here another question from Paul Angelo Tamayo. Ano daw po ang pinagkakaiba or pinagkaiba ng RGB and CMYK? Ano po ba ang effect nila sa editing?
Sa RGB, it depends kasi din sa screen and kung saan natin siya i-render. Usually, mas ginagamit yung sRGB or Adobe RGB online. And then, mas accurate naman yung CMYK if ipiprint natin yung mga edits natin. So, I recommend na kapag mag-edit kayo ng photos ninyo and ipiprint nyo talaga siya, use CMYK, especially with graphic designs and photos. Yon. But if sa online lang naman, mas accurate kasi yung sRGB or Adobe RGB. So, mas okay siya gamitin if online nyo lang naman siya i-upload.
Alright. So, sana clear yon, Paul, ano? Thank you for clarifying that, kid. And then we have here a very, what do you call this? Seth has very kind words. Sabi niya, thank you, sir. As an IT student, graduating na, pero medyo lito ako. Nakakalimutan ko na dahil hindi ako nakakapag-practice. At 3 session na napanood ko, ang dami ko pong natutunan. Sobra. Di na ako takot mag-explore sa Photoshop ngayon. Kasi kailangan nga talaga mag-create para maging creative. Salamat sa lahat ng knowledge na shinare mo sa webinars na ito. Kudos.
Oh, thank you so much for those kind words, eh. I
Yes,
really
thank you so much.
appreciate those.
Yes. And then siguro last question ito. Sabi ni Precious, question po Sir Hill, paano po natin ginagawa yung parang light streak, aka tama ng araw effects sa pictures?
Sige, let's see. First is, kapag sa photo ninyo, kailangan nyo muna na i-make sure nyo muna na yung photo ninyo ay may sun in the first place before you edit na may light stick, no? Pero let's see if kaya ko siyang i-demonstrate. I'll share my screen. Okay. Pili tayo ng ibang photo. So maghahanap lang ako ng ibang photo, ha? Okay. Let's say this one. Magandang picture kasi to. Kunyari, gusto natin may tumatagos na ilaw, no? Ay, sorry. I just clicked done. That's my fault. That's my fault. Click open. Yan. Yan. So, maganda, no? Yung image na to. So, gusto ko tanggalin tong part na to. Let's see. I-crop na lang natin siya. So, gawin natin siyang square. Ayan. So, super ganda nung photo. Let's see kung kaya ko siyang magawa, ha? So, let's go to gradient. Ayan. So, makikita natin, yan. Meron tayong gradient. So, instead of linear, let's go to diamond. And then, let's click reverse. Ayan. Tama ba? Or reflected. Let's see. Reflected, angle. Angle is nice. Siguro dun tayo sa angle. Sige, sa angle tayo. Ibahin natin. And then, let's make the black white. Yan. Tapos, click OK. And then here, kailangan ko siyang gawing rasterize layer. So right-click nyo lang tong gradient and then click rasterize layer. And then, pwede tayong mag-select ngayon. Yan, pwede ko na siyang mamove, diba? Taasan natin. Change natin yung blending modes. Okay. Mukhang mahirap siyang gawin sa photo na to. Since wala nga yung ilaw, yung sun mismo. Okay. I think mahirap siya gawin doon sa mga resources na binigay ko kasi wala mismo yung ilaw, yung light. So, pero sige. I'll try to answer that. Siguro try akong mag-record ng video and then make a tutorial of it para mapakita ko na lang kung paano siya gawin sa proper picture.
Okay. Sobrang thank you, kid, for your generosity. Talaga namang napaka-generous sa pag-explain at very detailed. Okay. So I guess I'll just be having, we will just be having your message, any message to our participants na nanonood ngayon, especially yung mga hindi pa talaga sobrang gamay ang Photoshop.
Okay. So to everyone who attended and listened to my webinar today in photo editing, thank you so much for attending, and especially those dun sa mga who were here since day one sa graphic design pa lang. Please raise your hands or give me a thumbs up, or like if you guys were here since day one. I really appreciate you all. All of this is a learning process. Even me, ang dami ko pa rin natututunan even if ako yung nagtuturo sa inyo. Parang relearning everything, going back, and learning the basics and the foundation is really important. Doon ko naisip na, oo nga no, parang everyone wants to be good at something immediately, but everyone doesn't want to go through the struggle of going back to the basics. But here we see na before we can be a master of something, we have to go back to the basics and learn it. It's a journey talaga. It is a learning process. So I hope now that you have the basics and the foundation, you don't stop creating, you don't stop learning, and I hope that everyone will stay creative as much as possible.
All right, there you have it, guys. Mr. Lawrence Hill D. Salgado. Now, hashtag Team LRC would like to take this opportunity to thank our speaker for his valuable time, and also to thank our ever generous webinar director as well. So to award the certificate of appreciation and also for her closing remarks, may I kindly recognize our beloved director, Dr. Benjamina Paula G. Flor. Let me just quickly read the citation first. University of the Philippines Los Baños Learning Resource Center present the Certificate of Appreciation to Lawrence Hill D. Salgado for serving as resource speaker in the 6th session on image editing. Learn how to edit photos using Adobe Photoshop in the GKPB Online Learning, a webinar series on how to take online learning to the next level held today, April 8, 2021, given this 8th day of April 2021. At the Learning Resource Center, UPLB College, Laguna, signed by our director, Benjamina Paula G. Flor.
Thank you so much, Kid. So for the last 3 days, our participants have actively participated. Thank you din po sa inyong participation. Grabe ang powers ng Photoshop, ano? Please use it appropriately. Also, do not believe or share photos you think are shareable, especially those malicious ones. Baka kasi Photoshop yung mga yon, madali tayo ng cyber law. So we at LRC are so grateful with the participation of our resource persons who kindly devoted their time and skills in helping you. In a way, we are so blessed to have both our experts and our learners. I wish and pray that you continue to yearn for lifelong learning, because it is only through dynamic interaction can we survive these unusual times. Let not the pandemic hinder our paths to have a better tomorrow. Remember that we create our own destiny. And in getting to that destiny, we have to be open to new learning opportunities that will greatly contribute to make us better persons. Good luck, everyone, in your job applications, new hobbies and initiatives to meet the needs of 21st century skills. After all, we need to package ourselves and our message to communicate effectively, whether this be academic, personal, or social. Thank you once again, and we look forward to your participation in our future webinars in store for you. Godspeed, stay safe, and COVID-free always.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Benj. Very well said po. And thank you, Hill, Now for the evaluation of this session, please do not forget to answer the evaluation form to receive your e-certificate of participation. The evaluation link will be sent to those who successfully registered for the event. And kindly be reminded, the link will be up until 5 p.m. We are deeply and really overwhelmed with the responses or the email with the messages that you are sending. So we are asking for your patience and understanding if there are delays po sa ating mga certificates. But more than anything else and more than the certificates, we hope you guys really gained inspirations and valuable insights from our speakers for the whole webinar series that we had. And at this point, we would like to recognize and thank our team, hashtag Team LRC and hashtag Team GKPB, headed by our director, Ma'am Benji Flor, with the support of our Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, of course, Dr. Jean O. Loyola. On our technical side is our University Research Associate, Joshua Michael G. Jonas, and our Webinar Production Online Director, Sir Chico. Thank you so much, Direct Prof. Mark Lester M. Chico. A big shout out as well to our two other members, Tita Allen and Kuya Iwok. Hindi man po sila kita sa camera, sama-sama po kami at tulong-tulong sa mga programa ng LRC na handog namin sa inyo. Again, thank you kay Kid at sa lahat ng aming mga naging speakers for GKPB Online Learning Webinar Series. To end, let me just share my humble reflection for our last session today. It is the word patience. Mylene Balbuena said in the comment section, spell patience. And she spelled the name of Gill Salgado, one of the most patient persons she saw daw po. And I agree. All of the artists I know are really patient, very patient, because for you to create something special, something beautiful, something worthwhile, it really takes patience. Lahat ng bagay sa buhay natin nangangailangan ng paghihintay at ng pasensya. Walang instant, walang shortcut sa success. If you have dreams, you have goals, aspirations, you have to work on it consistently and patiently, day in, day out. Just like Photoshop, it has so many tools, features that you need to learn, but once you get the hang of it, you will know how powerful it is. While waiting for this pandemic to die down, as Joyce Mayer put, patient is not the ability to wait, but the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting. Yes, waiting is not easy. Waiting is sometimes bitter, but in the end, you will see its fruit is sweet. So while we are waiting for things to come to be, let us all wait joyfully. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you in advance for your patience and understanding while waiting for your certificates. We hope to see you again in our future activities. Araw-araw, kapit lamang po at laban lamang po tayo. God bless everyone and bye!